Good morning from Rock Cut State Park campgrounds. I'm going to give you a full walking tour of the campgrounds. Largest state park in northern Illinois. It is pretty large. So we're going to start off with sites 500 to 531, which is sort of, I would say, their RV section. It's a section with power, basically. Let's get to it. Alright, start right off here on the gravel pad is 500, right at the entrance. You can hear highway noise from here and a lot of birds. 502 is the paved pad. 501 is the not quite so gravel anymore section. 503 on my left here at the intersection of the loop. 504 over here. It's fairly clear. Dumpsters at the loop intersection. Alright, over here on the right, nicely tucked away, is 505. Alright, 505, nicely tucked in there. Now 507, 509, 511 are fairly open here, backing up to pit toilets. Big accessible pad here. It's a huge pad, but a very narrow entrance. 506 over here. 508 is where I'm tucked in for the moment. So there's good cover between on the outer section here. Like I said, over here you're fairly open, so if you want to share with a friend, this is a good place. There's a little path going off back over there to something. Maybe that's a good place to tuck a tent if you wanted. 510 over here on the right. And these all have power. 513 over here on the left. 512 tucked back over here. 514 over here. These aren't incredibly deep sites. 515 here. And they're not perfectly level, that's for sure. 517 over here. I got these. I guess these are paths back to the restroom. 516 over here on the right. I got some fresh gravel there. 519 here. So this whole intersection is fairly open between sites. So this is 519 here. 518 on my right over here. Barely getting that slide out before they hit that tree. 520 with the big fifth wheel here. 521 on the left. Again, you got a tree that you got to watch out for with your slides. 522 right next to 520 here. A little tighter and really got to work around the trees there. 523 over here with this big fifth wheel, a little more room for slides. But as you can see here between those two trees, it gets a little snug. 525 is here, open to 527 over there. But again, the bathroom is there. 524, tucked nicely into the woods here. Not a lot of extra depth. It ends where they tell you the pad ends. That was 527 here with the fresh gravel. 526 over here. You got two camp host spots here. Back near the beginning of the loop, 529 here. Again, all open on the inside. And then 531 is another accessible site over here, fully paved. And that's the loop. Let's go see what else this campground has to offer. Well, apparently there's a nice cabin here you can rent. Eagle Cabin, beautifully situated up over the lake here. So we're going to take a little walking tour of Hickory Hill, sites 1 through 60. This is the tent only section, whatever that means, and we'll see what that looks like around here. This is one of those things that really distinguishes Illinois from Wisconsin state parks. Other than Bigfoot Beach State Park, which seems to be set up like an Illinois state park, in Wisconsin you have sites. You decide what you're going to do with it. Every site has a pad you can park on. You decide if you want to be a tent camper. You decide if you want to be an RV, a truck camper, a van, whatever. Some have power, some don't. There's no difference. Here, I guess you park in the lot over behind me here. And you tent over here. So you can come over here, unload, and then move your vehicle. You might be able to leave your vehicle here. I don't know. It's very unclear because there's no distinct place to park. Okay, fairly simply, odd numbers over here, even numbers over here, starting with 2 and 1. And I'm just going to walk down this, and you see we just have a big open area on both sides. Places obviously that might have a divot where the tent, the table and the fire ring are. No place to tell you where to park, no place to tell you where to put your tent. It's just open space. The little designation of, oh, okay, so 5 is this side, I guess. 8 is this side of the markers. So this little stretch here, that's 10, 12. The pad over there would be 14. 11 has a pad here. That's clearly you can put a car here. 14 with a paved pad. 15 with a paved pad with specifically the accessible labeling. It is fairly close to the pit toilet up here. So for what I've seen so far, which isn't much yet, we'll know as we go, I think there is a central bathhouse to the whole larger campground of over 500 or loops into the 500s. But most of it is just the pit toilets in the campgrounds. Okay, so we're coming down here. 17 over here, and these specifically say tent only, so you can't even really pull off here. It's going to be a little drop off. 13 over here, tent only. Yeah, there's not really, I mean, this looks like a place you might be able to put your car, but it's kind of muddy. 19, perched up on a hill here. 20 over on the left here. This looks a little different. Let's take a good look at 20. 20 is a nice separated site from everybody else. I have a distinct pad. It does not say tent only, so I could park my van here and be quite happy. And that's why I do these tours, is so you can know what each site offers and what it's going to let you do. Now this is a beautiful site. Got your fire ring, picnic table. Now I feel like you might be on a path. Yes, path comes past here, so it isn't totally privately yours, but you certainly have easy access to this. If you want to fish off the shoreline, this looks like a good spot for that. This is a lovely spot. Now, because it's along the water, and down at that end of the water is the interstate, you can hear the interstate sounds coming down the lake. Let's go back up. It's sites like this that I'm looking for when I do these reviews. Big difference between this, and that's basically group camping up there. Okay, how am I going to do this? This is just a big open space. So 22, and again, it clearly says tent only. So I don't know where you're supposed to put your vehicles. Maybe up top. "24 here doesn't say that, but sure still feels like it. And this is not level ground. This has got lots of blips and blips and bloops throughout it. All right, let's go take a look at those choice sites down there. This stretch, 22, 21, counting down there, I would avoid that unless you're desperate. The sites aren't flat, they're not level, there's no place to even nicely put a tent for a tent only site. Not the best sites. All right, this is site 60 here. Very nice site. Still says tent only. I don't know where you put your cars. I did find one video on YouTube of just this site. That was the site. It's very nice, on the water, great. But it kind of ignored the fact that it had its neighbors right up against it. 59. Does not say that, but it might just be that these are new posts that they didn't put that on. This one, you definitely have a gravel pad. In 57. Also this one. Oh, that's 58. No, that's 57. 57, that's this one. This one almost has a beach. Let's take a look at that. And again, the path comes down from over there, so I don't know where you could go off that path except right into these sites. So you could beach a boat here easily. This would be a great site if you had your own boat. So if you have a boat and you want to beach it, again, that's 57. 55 here, again, very slopey, muddy, a little bit grassy spot over there. Meantime, 54 on the other side. 50. Is that right? Sorry, I'm making you dizzy. Yeah, 54, 50. Okay. 51 over here. It is fairly flat down by the water, but all this is very slopey getting down to it. That's a nice tree there. 49. It says it's on this side. 46 over here. Up there in the upper row at 26, 28, 29, 54 here. It's a little vague who gets which fire ring. Now the water here kind of comes to a dead end, so let's go take a look at that as I go down in 41. It's the last one with good water access, sort of water access. We'll say hi to the ducks. Overall, this is a very pretty sight. Now we're a little over the hill, so the road noise isn't as loud over through here. All right, we got site 40 next to the pit toilets. 39 over here on the end. Not a lot of space that's flat to put a tent. And then one of the trails coming right off of that. That looks like a really nice place if you want to go hiking. All right, leaving the waterfront sites now. I got the pit toilet right behind me here. And then we come up on the last couple sites. So you got 37, 43. This is a bit rough. I'm not even sure where I'd put a tent there and still have room to sit. 43, 35. These numbers make no sense. That's not a bad site. Now, 36 is officially here. This isn't anybody's site, but if you want to hang a hammock, that's the place to be. Okay, 35 I covered. 34. These are nice big sites. You can do a lot here. And 23. 34, 23. They're together. Doesn't make any sense. Let's see what's over the hill. I'm going to go down the other side of the hill. See what we find. I can already tell you, you can see the lake out there. That's bringing the noise in from the highway a little clearer. 25, 47, over here. These are nicely isolated, nice sites. 27, I mean, we're on a hill, but the sites are good, big, level. It still says tent only, but that's a nice site. 53 over here. 31 on the left. These are nice sites. For this area, these are great sites. Now, there's another site back there. I'm not sure how you get to that one. It seems connected to this one. 21 over here, way back. Ton of room, another pit toilet. And this is where the boat launch is. So plenty of parking here. And trail walking by. The cabin is up on the hill here that you can rent. And there are trails running off from here. Let's take a good look at the lake here. And the sun is just starting to peek out today. And everything you see on the other side is also part of the park. All right, coming off the boat ramp, realizing there are a few more sites over here, down along the boat ramp parking. Now, this is the first time I've actually seen this sign. It's a tent-only site, 44, but it says motor vehicles prohibited. So I guess you can drive into the others. Not that you don't have parking, but this is supposed to be for trailers. This one too. 48 back up in there. There's a couple more coming down here. 52 here. Get you up there, see it. 56. These numbers make zero sense to me. That's going to be a nicely wooded site when the trees fell out this year. Okay, 156 to 9. Sure, whatever. Let's go back in there. This is a nice isolated site. Plenty of room. No picnic table, strangely. Path going off right down to the water. Nice trees. Bring your own chair. Okay, that was site that was site 9 with no picnic table. I guess you can use the one down here. Sorry, buddy. And group camping is over in that section. Okay, we're going to do this section as a driving tour because it's fairly open to see. We're going to start with the camp store. Camp store is in the hub here, down closer to the tent sites and this other RV section, Plum Grove, 100 through 200. So we're going to first, just as we come in here, take a right. Take a look at this little section. We got the pit toilets ahead of us. 189, 191. These are on the outside. There are also some inside part loops, which I'll try to show you in the other way. Wide open to their neighbors. 193 on my left. We got 191, 190, 192 on the right. They're all very tight on the inside. I'll show you that in a second. 195 there on the left. Those are fairly large. 197, 198, 199, sorry. Then 200 where the gravel's a little more prominent, and 201. Now I'm going to pull into 198 and basically show you all these inner ones. All of these on the inside loop. They're all just backed up to each other. Really tight. If you got a group that wants to come together and RV together, this is a great spot. You can all just hang out, circle the wagons right here. You all have power. And there's even a water source in the middle of it. So for that purpose, that section is great. But if you want to have your own space, that is not it. All right, we're going to keep going beyond the camp store again. And check out these other sections. Okay, we got a one-way, so I'm not going left immediately. We got a playground over on my right. Okay, this is going to be a two-looper. There's two inns here. 164 on my right, the paved pad there. 163 was right at the corner. 165 on my left, immediately followed by 167. Again, these are very close together. 166 was the paved pad on the right with the gray RV. 168 is on my right. 169 on the left. These are very tight. No cover. You are door to door. 170 on the right was where the teardrop was. 171 on my left. 172, 173. They're all just boom, boom, boom. 174 and 175 are the paved pads. We have ourselves a little bathhouse on the right. 176 is also a paved pad, not level. You can just see, open. Everything's open. When this is full, it's got to be just jam full. 177 on the left, 178 on the 179 on the left, 178 is on the right. So that's right next to the parking area. 180 just past that. 183 is on the other side of the little tree here. 182 on my right, 185 on my left. At the corner here as it turns in is 184. Straight ahead there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 turkeys. 7. Got turkeys here. 186 straight ahead here. 187 was on my left. All very open, very crammed together. 188 straight ahead there. Now we're gonna loop this around and I'm gonna end it and catch you on the second part of the loop. Right. Passing the playground. Let's do the other outer ring now. 100 is right here on the corner and 102 right next to it. Up against the woods. 101 is on the left, hiding behind this Jeep with the Class B. 104 on the right, backed up to the woods. It's very slopey. 103 had Class A. 106 on my right. 105 is the paved pad, backed up to the bathrooms. 107 also a paved pad for accessible. 108 is tucked into the woods. Watch out for the trees. 109 on the left is very tight. I don't know how you're supposed to back into some of these, but 110 on my right in the woods. 112 also in the woods. Those at least have some separation from their neighbors. 111 on the left. 112, 113 you can see clearly on the left. 114 is on the right, backing into the woods, but now you're open to your neighbors at 116. 115 on the left, between the trees, big trees, and some dead branches. So double look for the widowmakers on those. Look for trees that will, branches that will fall on you. 117 on the left, 118 on the right. All of these sites you're going to have to do a lot of work leveling. These are not level sites. 119 on the left. 121 with the turkeys. 2 turkeys in it right now. 120 on the right. That's a lot of big toms. So 120 is tucked into the woods nicely, slopes downhill. 122 straight ahead. Hello, big boys. You are huge. 123 again on the left in the inner circle. 124 on the right. That looks like a Wisconsin site there. 125 on the left, sloping way down. 126 is up with the pop-up. 128 next to it. That's a nice site. Holy cats. I gotta show you something here. Okay, this Class A sitting here. My camera's level. He can't level enough to work that site. Okay, that really slopey site with the Class A was 127, 130 on my right. Looks like it backs up to a trail. 132 on my right, 129 on my left, 134 on my right. I got someone who's in a hurry behind me for some reason. You're in a campground, dude. Don't rush. Okay, this is where the loop connected from the center. 136 on my right in the woods. 131, 33, 35 on the left. Just like that. Boom, boom, boom. 138 on the right. 140 on the right. So basically, you got a tree to decide to tell you you're in a new space. 142 on the right. 137 on the left. 138 on the left, 144 on the right. Water, 141 on the left, 148 on the right. I kind of like these ones on the right. They're still very slopey. 143 on the left. Camp Post, 148 on the right, 150 on the right, 157 on the left. These are flat. We're in a flat section now. Woohoo! 152 on the right, flat. 149, fairly flat. 151 on the left, fairly flat. 154 on the right. 153 on the left. I am going 5 miles an hour and I'm feeling like an auctioneer here. These are very tight. 158, 6 on the right. 155 on the left. Again, flat. 159 on the left. 158 on the right. They are just on top of each other. 159 on the left. Camp Post on the right. And ending at 161. Wow. Okay, they pack a lot into this area. Not a lot of flat spots that are good, I think, great sites. These are the last minute desperate sites out here. This section over here that I covered before, they're flat. They're tight. The outer ring's nice. The inner ring, if you got a group, it's great. One thing to remember, we're in Illinois. There is no alcohol in the state parks. No alcohol. Something Wisconsinites are not used to. But it also means quieter campground at night. And there's a trail that we cross through right here. Next section in the powered sections, Staghorn 300 to 331. Oh, these look nice. 300 on the right, accessible site. 301 on the left, also accessible site. Camp Post on my right. Nicely tucked in the woods over here is 303. That's nice. Another camp post. There are a lot of camp posts at this campground. And there's 2 in each loop, at least. 305 on the left, little bunny rabbit. 306 on the right. 308, they're open to each other, not so bad. Level, these are level right now. Or fairly level. 309 on the left. 310 on the right. Very short. I'm not saying you're gonna get big rigs in here. Some of these pop-up may be all you can get, or a teardrop. 311 on the left. Hopefully they give you links in the website. 312 on the right. 313 on the left. 314 on the right. Okay, we got a big fifth wheel on the right here. And as you can see, there's no room for the vehicle in front of it. 315 on the left, so that must be 316 where the fifth wheel is. 317 on my left, that's got a little more room. 318 on the right. 319 on my left. This is a nice loop, fairly secluded, nicely wooded, fairly flat. 320 on my right, so this section 320, 322, 324 I think, and maybe 326 are all connected. There's no cover between them. 321 on the left and 323 are pretty connected there. 325 is isolated back in there. That's nice. 327 up ahead, tucked back in. 329 where the white pickup is right now, that's fairly deep. I'm just using it as a tent site, that's fine. The red SUV was at 328. Oh, he actually has a little teardrop there. 331 on the left, 330 on the right. And that is that nice little loop. I like that loop. And the main bathhouse is across from that. Now I gotta come back up and catch the last section that I haven't seen yet. Oak sites, 400 to 441. That's across from the Staghorn, on the main road. Staghorn signs on the right. Right away, we got a campground host, 2 of them, and they're already all set up here. And we are early May. 402 on the right, tucks deep nicely into the woods. 403 if you like to share with campground hosts. 404 on my right, a nice fresh pad there. Not going to sink in the mud on that one. 405 on the left. These seem a little bigger, a little deeper than the others, and they're flat. 406 on the right. 407 was on the left. 408 there ahead. Nicely tucked into the woods. 409 on the left. 410, small one in the woods. It goes back a little further, but we're not talking really deep sites here. 411 is an accessible site, backed up to the pit toilets. 412 on my right, a small toe behind there. 413 on the left is another accessible. 414 on the right, nice new pad, gravel pad there. That's fairly deep and has room beyond the pad. 415 on the left, 416 on the right, 417 on my right. Alright, that is not a site there. And then 413 on the right, tucked in the woods. Might have a path that we can that comes off the back of the campground here. 428 where the white pickup truck is there. 419 on the left. 421 on the left. Those two don't have cover between. 422 shares with 420 space. 423 is all alone, but backs up to a whole lot of it to the handicap sites. Alright, swing this over for you. 424 on my right, which you can't really see because it's the inside corner. 425 on my left. So 424, 426, 428 are open. You can see each other clearly. 427 is tucked into the woods there. 429 on my left there in the woods. 430 tucked back into the brush there. 431 on my left tucks in nicely. Again, not huge sites. 432's got a Class A tucked back in there, looks fairly level. 433 on my left. 434 on the right. They've got a pop-up. 435 on the left. 437. 439, 441 are all wide open on the left. 438 on my right, it slopes uphill. Got an accessible pad backed up to another pit toilet. And 440 on the right at the end of this. So that's that loop. That's not a bad loop. But this one and the Staghorn across the way, fairly flat, lots of good isolation sites, good camping. There's a lot of things that are different. Some of these sites are absolutely very nice. You're going to want to go through the whole video, not just skip to the end. Go back, look through. Some sections, wonderful. Some sections, I don't know how you're supposed to use the sites. They're desperation sites as far as I can tell. But even in those loops, there's still some nice sites. So you got to look through and see all the detail here. Pick your sites carefully because there are some that you do not want and others that are really nice. So like I said, I'm just south of the Wisconsin border. Loves Park and Rockford are right on the other side of the lake and a little beyond. It's not far to all of that. 173 up here has all you need. The first thing you'll run into is the Myers. It's like a Walmart. It's got everything you could want. And it's, you know, nicer than a Walmart. So it's worth the visit if you need anything. It's all very convenient. And then you get out here and you don't know any of that's there. And if you can live without power for a couple days, there's that one really good site down there that you can park a vehicle at, camp, and you're on the water. So thanks for coming along on this. Hope you appreciate it. Hope you find the right spot now and avoid maybe those not so great sites. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Get on out there.